never forget to save. So let's save, and then this is actually our fishing rod. How do we continue now, since we modeled this piece? So this is actually a sphere, which is cut, and then this is actually a small depression, and then the white piece rotates, and the green stuff stays. Actually, we can model this really, really simple. We import our quad ball again. There we are. I think probably at 45 millimeters. Okay, interesting. Let's do this one more time. Oh, I have to click it. 45, and sub D6. Oh, now we need to adjust here. So 46, 45. Yeah. So this is actually correct. So now we can, you see without the subdivision and with the subdivision on the numbers changes. So 46, 46, 46. Oh, is this actually 46? No, that one looks bigger. Let's quickly measure. It's always good to have a caliper. Ooh, 55. Okay. Very good. We can also show this one as an overlay, and then move over it and see, does it work? Yeah. Oh, maybe 8. Yeah, 58 maybe. Yeah, so there's a tiny transition. We have a tiny transition there. Okay, good. Yeah, 58. Let's make this 57. I'm just shrinking this just a tiny bit. There we are. And then back to smaller value, right click, shade smooth. Very good. Okay. Oh, interesting, actually. Extrude those. Actually, this part. Yeah. Okay. So how do we do these cuts? I did a measurement here. We have 24 and 46. So I'm going to go to here, to this. Then I will make a rectangle. 46, 46. So basically now I can see where does this have to be cut. I can select this one, Shift D and Escape, and move this down. And you see how I am actually intersecting this now. This goes in really a lot, maybe a tick too much. So this is Y, so S and Y, maybe a little bit flatter. Yep, this looks good. Because I need 2 on each side, I will make a mirror command along Y and select this ball. Oh, this is not rotated. Zack. Wait, I'm confused now. So you mirroring axis. This is interesting. What's going on here? Local. So this is Z, this is Y. Okay, bizarre. But hey, if it works that way, so be it. Not going to fight you. And these are subdivision 2, and we can call this ball dome trim. In here, this one, Boolean ball dome trim. Zuck. There you see how we nicely cut this out, like there. And then we also have this the centerpiece, which is a 24 millimeter green part. So how do we do this? Shift S, cursor to select it. Shift A, make a cube. And then we can scale this cube down to 24 along Y. And maybe here 100 or 60 and 60. This cube will be used to split actually this object. So our first task will be, we will do it this way. How do we call this? Sphere split, maybe. Here, so it's out of my way. So when I select this one, and I go to here, add another Boolean command, and say difference. In here, sphere split. You see the inside is gone. But now the inside is gone. How do we get this back? Very simple trick now. Alt D and escape, I made a copy. This cut piece for the outside I can remove. And then the difference I switch to intersect. You see now and the inside and the is they're all the same geometry because they're clones. When I adjust one sphere, and both are updated. Very good. Yeah. It's actually very logical the way how we work, again, because everything is built via nice and clean geometry. When we send this over to Fusion, there is nothing we have to do to recreate it. We can finish the work in Fusion. Here it's much, much easier to, with the precision tools and the transformation orientation and pivot points, it's simply, and snapping actually, it's much easier and better to do this type of work in Blender. We would like to have this little pin here modeled. So 9.5 diameter, 14 up. So that's easy, no? So we can select our sphere here, Shift D and escape. Delete, delete. We know actually we need to apply this at least one time. We have more geometry, and then we can select all this, S and Y and 0. Whoopsie, I was in local mode. So S, Y, and 0. Alt click on this. No, wait, sorry. Control R. Move this down, click, point select, move this up, and snap. Very good. We can select this loop X dissolve. Now we have our nice dome. Shift E1 enter to preset. The whole thing is 9.5. So in object mode, this is rotated. So let's see what's local. Oh, good. So this is length. So 8.5. Here's my scale factor. There I have it. Very good. Control A and apply. Then I can go into edit mode, see brush over the selection. Okay, nothing else selected, and simply move this one out, make it longer. Height. Oops, here we are. So it sits kind of like on that rim a little bit. There we can see just slightly. Maybe, let's see, this is the outside. I will add one subdivision and I will do the same here. 3 is fine. You see this actually got a little bit nicer. So also this one I will give us 3. This slows things down. And there we are. Okay, cool. This one? Okay, well, I will select the sphere, Shift S cursor to select it. I will select this, Shift S selection to cursor. Then I can move it down so it's perfectly centered under it and move this out. Yeah, now how do we move this out? This is 14 millimeters. Here again, we trust our eyes. Can go to the top view. Okay, and then GZ minus 14 or 14, there we are. Control R, it feels like here I need to straighten this more. Good. There we are, and there's actually a little socket. This green piece rotates a little bit. Yeah, how do we do this? It's a single piece or individual piece. Let's make 2 pieces, so it makes sense. There we are. Very good. So select all this. Key separate. Go into edit mode. Alt click this and Shift E and 1. Very good. In object mode, press Alt H. No, Shift H to hide everything else. Then edit mode. I need to cap this. And we do the same process as before. AA, I select all this. Shift D and escape. We are in local, so S, Z, and 0. Then I move this in. There we are. Actually, this loop here I can X and delete. U, F, edge select, alt click, Shift alt click there, and then shift and shift click. Be careful, we only have this selected, and this now we can bridge. Whoa, maybe not. Let's help the software. There. How is the orientation? Terrible. A, Shift N. Very good. Cool. Alt H, so we can hide everything. Select this one, Shift H in object mode, go into edit mode. Then here I just C and select all these points. Shift D and Z and snap. U and U, F, U and U, F. Alt click on an edge, Shift Alt click, deselect those, bridge, Control click here, Shift 1 and crease. Oh, yeah, Shift N. There. Sorry, Alt H. There we are. Cool. And we have a small, tiny gap. Cool. And that basically sums up then how we can very quickly model the part that's actually inside there. Now, how do we do the heart? So that's the heart here. That's a 90-degree rectangle with 2 circles on it and then an offset. Okay, let's see how we can do this. So let's hide all this. There we see it. Shift A, plane, rotate 90 degrees, scale down here, S, R, yeah, okay. Do the rotation, so this was pretty good. Edit mode, and then here this I delete. And I need to find actually 2 arcs. Actually, undo the delete here. I want to put in F and diagonal, select this edge, delete, select this edge, and delete. Because then it's from here to there, from here to there. Yeah, circles. How do we do this? Shift A, make a circle. Whoops. Shift A, circle. I will go with 32 actually. And then 90 degrees. And I'll do following because I have a copy. Object mode. Actually, now I will rotate the piece and position it. You see how I do a nice overlay? Because I rotated in object mode, you see how now I can go ahead in edit mode, move everything, however, with the object orientation. So this one goes back, click this one and L, and then try to see in scaling, where does it slowly line up? Yeah, and that's actually kind of like where it is. You see this is on an edge here, nearly on the point. So see, all this can be deleted. U and F, is this on a straight line? Ah, okay, so now I see this point is actually bad. That was the correct point. And how do we do this one here? Normal. Bring this to there. Okay, X and delete, U to there, and F. And then, no, wait. Here, this one goes back to there. X and F. There it goes. In terrible two. Yeah, it's fine. Let me do it this way. Smaller piece. Okay, very nice. Object mode. I set back to 0, so you see how it's rotated, and it's super easy. So this I delete. Also here, this edge I delete. Select everything. Shift E and escape. Control M and X. RN90 and enter, move this away, move this in mode control, and there is our half. Select everything via A, mesh, cleanup, merge by distance, F and fill. I can go back to object mode, rotate it, back to edit mode, Z and wireframe, and now I do an inset. Yeah, there we are. Cool. Control R, and I will add 2 more subdivisions, so I have more points. Here, Control R 2 points, Control R 2 cuts, I mean, Control R zip. How many are these? Click and right click. This were 8 cuts, and the same here. I can actually enter 8, enter. See how nicely subdivided this is. Okay. So Alt H. The reason why I did the subdivision is now this I can move to here. Oh, this face has to go. So this is still centered, very nice. Now we do shrink wrap onto this along project. This should be along the y-axis and negative, or is this the z-axis? Yeah, it's the z-axis. There we are. See all these extra points I added just so it wraps over it well. We will sync this in a little bit. 0.5. This is actually above. I want this to be inside. Maybe -1. Okay, let's say -2. -3. There's this not okay. This can also have just an effect. No, maybe it's not. So -3. I want out by 1 millimeter, so now I have to give this a solidify modifier of 4 millimeters. Oh, scale factor was turned on. That's the reason why this one was crazy. Wah, wah, wah. Apply scale. So here, -0.5. Yep, that's inside 1.5 for the offset. There, maybe 1, so it's half a millimeter actually. Shade smooth and outer smooth. 0.5 would be flush, yeah. 0.75, so quarter millimeter actually sticks out. Okay. Super easy, as you see this was. We want this actually to be centered. So let's set all the rotations here to 0. RN90, RN45, very good. And 0. Scale rotation. So some features here will flip out now here. So this Z is off. Let's put the Y back in. And now here, this is actually the 3D cursor, the center of my ball. This is a little bit off. Shift S cursor, selection to cursor. And it's inside the object. And now I'm pushing this outside. There now, so it's outside. Before it was inside. Okay, why did I do this? Well, this is now nicely centered, also centered on this. Now I can just say, hey, this whole piece, maybe 90 degrees, or whatever. I can also rotate it here. And notice when I rotate this, instead of R, Y, and 90. Okay. R and 90. There, that actually this. So just in a view, press R, but when I press R and then Y and 90, then it doesn't do this. Okay, very cool. If I want to have this on the opposite side, also here, this is easy. Mirror modifier over this one towards the Y direction. See that again? This is interesting. I have to figure out what's wrong here. That should be Y and not C. Anyway, here we are. Build the ball. That should be self-explanatory. Now it's just a sphere with a small piece on top. 2 millimeter hole, 9 millimeter diameter outside, and then the whole thing is 6 millimeter on top. 45 millimeter diameter with 50% white, 50% red. At the bottom is actually the magnet, which will have the same size as the other toys, the magnet socket. And then in the texturing video, I will show how we will model and then texture this piece, because that is actually fabric. As you can see, it's woven, and ooh, how do we do this? Looks complicated. If you know how to take shortcuts, it's actually super easy.